Hello everybody, so today we're doing not a support VOD, but an Ashe VOD. And I mostly play supports, right? That's kind of what I do, but a lot of tanks is, or a lot of off tank is knowing matchups and what you're trying to do. And that's sort of a decent chunk of support too, so I mean if you're seeing this, then I think the VOD was worthwhile enough to be posted on YouTube, so let's give it a go. So we're watching the Ashe. And they said this game specifically, I'm not sure which side I should have played on Point Fight, given our comp, but the fact that they had a con. So I committed to Lava with Anjo. I don't know if it was the play though. So cool. So just looking at comps. Right away, you guys fall off super hard. 4 of your ults are CC. That sucks because they buy Rezel. You guys effectively have like no ults, right? And that's like not great. So trying to win early is something you guys want to do. There's a video coming out at some point about determining win conditions, and basically here's the short version, right? It's literally in the thumbnail. It's range, initiative, and who you want to kill. So question marks for all these. I can write, I promise. So who has better range? That would be they do. Who has initiative? And by initiative, I mean who burns point better, right? Like in a slow fight, who's going to win point better? Well, I'd say they do. And who do you guys want to kill? Well, there are 3 options, right? You can either try to kill tanks, you can try to kill backline, or you can try to distract backline and kill tanks. Those are your 3 options, right? So you go, that's called going front to back, going back to front, and killing middle. So what they want to do, they want to go front to back, right? So that's going to be, they're going to try to kill you because, well, they can't really get on your backline. They should never really be able to kill your Damba. That's just not really a thing that should happen. Like if the EV does, like that's cool, right? Shit happens, but they never should. And it's not really what their comp wants to do, right? Like, the con doesn't really want to flank around. Con isn't super great at that, right? That's just kind of what these characters do. You guys, 100% back to front. So you don't want to shoot tanks. Their tanks are beefy. Their tanks are going to get pocketed. Their tanks have better tank matchups than you guys. Like Anara sucks, just in general. Ashe into Con, not great. You have 2 flanks, which means kill backline. Like this is a very aggressive comp. So what does this mean for you? Well, it means that they have more range, so you want to get up close. They have more initiative, which means you want to go fast, and you want to go back to front, which means you want to prioritize the backline. So you said you went Lava, and I think that is a good way to go about it because you're probably not going to match into the Con there, or you might not match into the Con there. You'll get into backline, and like you're just trying to get into backline this game, really. That's kind of all Ashe is. So for the build, I think you're okay. I really personally, I assume you're battering ram, right? Yeah. I think that's fine. Snowglobe EV is interesting. So I personally really like Dash CD on 5, but that's like personal preference. These are fine cards. Siege Engine is a bit weird to me. I'm not sure if you're ever gonna get too much value out of that. And sometimes I feel like when I run cards like Siege Engine, where it's like, you know, do this thing, like I'll start using my boop for the Siege Engine reset instead of like using it as a boop. So that's maybe something, I don't know if you do, but something to look for. Veteran makes sense. You could go Master Riding, or you could go Rezel. I really like Master Riding on off tanks, but that's just me. So let's see what you do. Go Lava. Cool. One thing that I will say is if you are going to roll out Lava, what you can do is if you roll down here, you can play like right here, and you can't see anything, right? But because you're on mount, you have third person, you can angle your camera like right here and get vision on things that are going lava without peeking yourself. Okay. So I think you kind of You kind of went way out in the open. You didn't really use cover. You are a tank, yes, but I mean, it's not like Eevee won't win that or anything. So using cover, using your shield better or earlier. Hey, you're stacking point. Okay. Listen, I'm not like a super great off tank player, but stacking point as an off tank is a loss. This, like, think of what this means, right? You want to fight at close range, you want to fight fast, you want to fight their backline. This is a fight that is probably going to go long because you're shooting tanks. You're shooting tanks instead of backline. And if you're shooting tanks, well, you're far away from them, from their backline, from the Saudi, right? Which means you're like, this is just the opposite of everything you want to do. So, like, taking this cool little off angle, nice. Walking forward, cool. Stacking point, cool. Like, if you're going to go over here, like, I'd rather see you go quickly rather than like linger around a little bit. One thing that I will say is that the area down here tends to be like not very important, right? Like generally, when you talk about Corey, like this area down here is basically death because the other team can kind of just walk down here. It gets off angled by point, it gets off angled by high ground. Like it's very exposed in a weird way. So I'd definitely rather see you on high ground. This shield, like this shield is cool, right? You're gonna be able to do some damage, but you're not really controlling any important space. If you were up here, first of all, you get corners to work with, so you don't really have to shield. You can push up to here, and hey, cool, there's the Saudi, there's the backline. Pressure that out. And if you know if there's no one there, well then you get to go to the backline. Yeah, you're just gonna get grabbed if you do that. So now you're like, oh crap, I don't have shield. Your Maeve's doing great. Like their backline has been dying. It hasn't really been because of you, but their backline has been dying anyways. So this is like you getting punished for using your shield to not like control the space that's like super important, right? And you die in mid. Cool. Your team is kind of farming.
Now or never, boys.
Now you're just looking for dismounts. Cool. So on this push, there's really two. You can try to control mines on the right side. You can control high ground. Either's fine. Cool. If you are going to use this shield, you might want to use it against the corner here just so you can play with it, because this is going to walk past the con. Here, let's okay, so fun Ashe versus Con matchup shield stuff time. So you're both walking at each other, right? You're both just like walking at each other. Great. If you put down shield, let's say shield is yellow. You put down shield, shield's just gonna roll right past him, right? What you do instead is you put shield this way, so it rolls this way, and then you, instead of walking into the con, walk backwards right behind your shield. So this way you give up space, right? You give up space, but you take 0 damage and the con has to take damage, right? So when you're trying to fight a con like this, usually backward shielding is very good unless you're trying to be very aggressive. So that would be something that's good, because like your shield is doing nothing for you, right? Your shield's in Narnia. Oh my god. Kind of beefed your dash, but that's fine. Just make sure you fully out of combat here. A little pet peeve of mine. You're missing 800, like you're missing 1000 HP here. You're just out of combat all the way. Just makes things harder on your support. You're stacking mid again. Like, look where the backline is. Right? You want to fight this con? Fuck no. You do not want to fight this con. So how do you get to backline? You get to backline for up here, or you get to backline for up here. You're not going to get to backline this way. That's not going to happen. Don't do that. Go backline. This is good. Shield is good. You get all. There's a minute 50 left. Cool. Yeah, you could have maybe angled the boop to get the Corvo. You dash for that. You dash for that. You dash for that. It's a support, man! If you die for the support, that is 100% okay. Your Maeve cleans up. Good stuff. Even now, I'd be shooting the Corvus. He's on your right. He's just getting to spawn now. You could have killed him. If they trade for you, like, who cares? You kill the support. That's always something you take. You're in mid again. Get out of mid. Like, literally, if you ever find yourself in mid as an off tank, like, that should be alarm bells. Something should be very, very wrong. Okay. So as an off tank who wants to go backline, there's a bit of a problem with most last chokes in Paladins, and that's that the backline is invincible. They have their spawn doors, right? They have their spawn doors. They're like impossible to get to. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So you are kind of forced to kill tanks, basically. Your comp sucks at killing tanks. It's not very good at killing tanks. You're gonna have to kill tanks though, because you can't do anything else. Are you gonna try to kill a backline when they can just dip into spawn? No. So 3 lanes on this map, right? 3 lanes on every map, except Frog Isle, because Frog Isle is stupid. We have like, how do you draw lanes here? Lane 1, sort of like this. You have lane 2, which is just mid. And you have like lane 3, which is like this area, sort of. So then you have like this little cheeky angle, but that's whatever. That's not really a lane. So if we were to just draw one line for these, right, it'd be this one, like this one. And these are your options. So which one do you think is best, right? Well, let's just rule off mid right away, because mid sucks. Mid is never going to be good. Even if you want to kill tanks, you don't go mid, because like then if your tanks are stacking, then no matter what their comp is, off tanks kill backlines pretty well, and just in general. So if you're stacking, they'll just say, "Oh, go, we'll just kill your backline." Then the Khan will run at your backline, and Atlas will run at your backline if he's not contested. So the reason that it's good for you to not match the Khan is because you run at their backline better than they run at your backline. So you basically have 2 options here, right? You can go mines, you can go stairs. What's this call out? I forget this call out. This is furnace. This is mines. Spiral? Okay, okay. I'm pretty sure it's spiral. So you can go spiral, or you can go mines. I don't think either one is necessarily bad. I think you don't really do much individually from spiral, so you're probably going mines. And I don't think your DPS need you to go spiral. Like, that's not space that's going to be contested by the enemy team, probably. So, yeah, just go mines, I guess, is the point here. Go offlane. Does that shield do anything? Your shields are bad, I'm very real. If there's one thing so far to work on, it is your shield usage. Let's see, what could be doing better with your shield? Your team is falling over because their Saudi just killed 2. It would be really unfortunate if their Saudi had a 5.5k HP tank in her face and couldn't get away with that, right? You're resetting very far back. I don't think you need to be this far back. Cool. So now it's like, alright, well, they're holding for a choke again. Where are the lanes? 3 lanes. Because it's like every map ever. You can go this way. You can go this way, or you can go like this way. Or you could sort of split into here and try to get over there. That's fine too. Whatever. You can do whatever you want, right? You basically have 3 options. Again, let's get rid of mid because you're not a main tank. That's not an option that you have. So you sort of have 3 options, and I think one of them is a lot better than the other. I think that this is a super long rotation. I think you're gonna get absolutely farmed if you try to do this. I also don't think the area back here is like super useful. If you try to go up here, this could be fine, but I don't think it does much. I think it just pushes them back, and then like that's cool, whatever. I think if you go below them, I think this is a lot more immediately threatening. It's a lot safer, and you also have the option to just like go to point, and that gets really awkward for teams a lot of the time because then they have to back up, and your team is pushing, and it gets like really weird very quickly. So like what you need to be thinking going into these fights is like, which lane are you trying to go, right? Because most of the time there's an answer. Like on most maps, there is an answer. Like you're playing Bright Marsh, it's like, well, on the mid fight you go apps. On the push, you know, you have some variety. And on the last choke, you know, you could go to the pans over there, like the little the far side, or you could go green in the closer side in that little room there. and you're gonna go green most of the time. And that's just kind of the way the map works. But on split zone, you actually have choices, which makes it a lot more interesting because the free lanes are more viable.
30 seconds left.
So right now, what I'm seeing is that the line between you and backline is completely open right now. This con is doing nothing. He is not matching you. So, free backline. But instead, right, we're gonna go down mid and we're gonna shoot tanks. You can maybe okay, well you do get the kill. Great, because Con messed up. I'd rather kill the Saudi though. I'd rather pressure backline.
15 seconds.
This is good.
10, 9, 8,
Cool.
7,
So like this is where you don't want to shield, right? You're under pressure. You might want to hold this space, or you could dip back into cover. You know, your shield is artificial cover and walls are natural cover. They're both covered. They both do the same thing, right?
3, 2,
Why are you mid? Why are you shooting tanks? You don't want to shoot tanks. Shooting tanks sucks. So it's like, it's hard to say, right? Because like, you could maybe be min-maxing things better, but the things that you really need to do differently is to get into mines. Get here, start contesting these people. Look for ult maybe if you want. You just missed con ult. If you ult up here, stun both these people, knock them both down into mid, this just gets so awkward for them. It gets so awkward.
Okay, real talk.
Look who gets the kill on your Domba. Like, your Domba's under pressure, sure, but the EV instantly traded. And I guarantee that, like, you distracting the Saudi there is more value.
Enemy dub. Look out.
She kills your Andro too. Wow, this is like making me look smart.
Just let them triple kill you.
I also don't know why you're going for you're going for boops a lot, but honestly, just shoot them all. Go offlane. If I ever see you in listen, if there's one thing you get out of this VOD, anything at all, it's just get out of mid. Get the fuck out of mid as an off tank. Always. Like there's some situations where stacking point is not inherently bad.
2, 1.
There's never a never in this game, right? The advantage of stacking point is that you burn point better, right? The disadvantage is that you give up the entire map. So the only situation where you'd ever want to stack point is if giving up the entire map doesn't matter. The only time where giving up the entire map doesn't matter is if the enemy team is staggering in 1-by-1 and you just want to, they have to touch and you want to burn point faster. That is the only situation where stacking point is maybe okay. Even then, you probably don't want to be directly on the objective. You probably just want to be off to the side a little bit, so that if someone does try to go for the backline, tries to do some map control stuff, then you're there to take care of that, and you're still in a position to burn point. If it's not that situation, if they're not staggering in 1-by-1, get out of mid. Get out. It's just the easiest fixed. I don't even care where you go. It'll probably work out better. Mount peeking, cool. You know it's a 2v1, so you push hard. It's not a bad choice. On the backline, I don't know why you're booping her away. Why did you just boop her away from your ult, man? Why are you going for boops? You can shoot twice the time it takes you to rev up a boop, and it does 500 more damage. You could have, you could have done 800 damage, 500 more damage to her. Hit the stun. I don't even know how much damage your ult does. It's 400 or 800 or something. But at this point, I don't know if you keep chasing. You've zoned her. You're fine. Okay, but she runs back in. You could boop them in now because you're booping them into your team. That'd be cool. Nice. Screws over the con a little bit. Great. Yeah, that was awesome. That shield sucks. That shield's rolling away from you. Where do you want to go? You're under pressure. You just killed their tanks. Cool. Your objective now is survive because you have an advantage. And we're talking about win conditions and that stuff, and that's all very interesting and all that. But that kind of relies on both teams having 5 people alive. If one team has a 5v4 or a 5v3 even, the advantage that you get from having a numbers advantage is just so big that all the strategy stuff kind of just goes out the window and you can kind of just kill them. So at this point, you have that advantage, right? You have that advantage. Your team is absolutely pounding. I guess you're down one, but that's not like they have 2 people alive, right? Your job is just to like survive. So you get EV ulted. That's cool. You might be fine. No, okay. Basically, your shield sucked. If you backward shield, you can start leaving this way and sort of just backpedal as your shield rolls in front of you, right? But you did play the mid fight better. I would definitely get master riding though. It's super value. I think you could. Okay, I think your ability usage is weird. I don't know if you want to try max CDR on dash. That's just a personal thing that I like because I like dashing around. Like I think situations like this, like okay, cool, their backline's on high ground. Great, let me just dash over here and now I'm on top of them and they have to leave instead of having to like walk. It's just faster. I like it better. I don't know. It's up to you. Try it. I feel like you're booping when you don't really need to. Like just shooting them is a lot better because again you're losing out on 500 damage and you're putting them farther away from you, and you know sometimes that's fine, right? There's a reason Ashe has a boop. It's there for it's useful. But if you're better off just shooting someone, then just shoot them. And your shields, I'd really recommend trying backward shielding more when you want to like hold space instead of take it, and then just I don't know. I feel like a lot of your shields are just rolling away from you, basically. So. I think this shield is cool. Because now the Saudi has to leave, and now the Saudi's in a bad spot. Cool. It's not a bad play. I would not go back into mid for 2 reasons. 1, it's mid. 2, you have 2,000 HP. That's, you know, you're a tank. Great. You can heal up. And the reason that you have time to heal up is because this is a 4v3. You guys have that numbers advantage. You can just chill, and then you can just kill them. As long as no one like hyper feeds, and you like play the game somewhat well, you should just win because you have a numbers disadvantage. But being aggressive like this, man, there's no real reason for it. Like yes, it's a messy mid fight. Great. You don't have to like be on the objective unless you absolutely have to. If you take time to heal up, you know, this con's about to die, right? And your Damba has fear. If you survive for a few more seconds because you aren't on the objective, if you just back up, you heal up, you have more HP. I think your Damba's alive, right? Yeah. So, or maybe you back up to your support. I don't know where he was when you were fighting point. This Khan's probably dead. You're probably alive. Whatever this Damba does with his ult. Okay, well, I mean, hey, it hit the knife. You're probably there to follow up on it. It's looking a lot better. Also, if you had your ult, which I think you did, then I don't know why you didn't use it. Well, backline, your team is down 1, now even. Cool, still even, but they have heals. Cool. This is a cool shield. You can still kill that. Nice. You kind of went down mid, but hey, that's where the backline was. So.
Alright, they're getting hot. They're getting hot.
Again, I don't really like playing this low ground inside quarry. I think just the high ground is better. You see how this shield is like screwing over the Khan? Like you're just completely dominating this man. You can do this backwards, right? Now shield runs out and he bullies you. Like this is the reason that Khan into Ashe is good, is because like you bully him when you have shield up, but you don't have shield up most of the time, and he just kind of like screws over your dash a lot. Like he can grab, he can ult, he can do a lot of things. Defending, it's the same idea. Get out of mid. Get out of mid. Where do you want to go? Which lane do you want to hold? Honestly, on Splitstone, you don't really care. Again, you want to go backline, right? You want to take short, close range fights that are fast and kill their backline. So like, what kind of lets you do that? If you play up here, draw that in pink. If you play up here, the other team has to do something at some point. The other team has to make a play. So like the Khan is gonna do, you know, he's gonna go around, or he's gonna try to push up left side. And when he commits, right, when he gets to like some point, there's gonna be a backline somewhere. And if you are up here, that is free dives onto that backline. Because they have to do something. You're defending. They have to do something, right? You don't necessarily you don't need to make something happen because like you're defending. Usually the map geometry is so strong for the defenders team that like unless you're playing like some ridiculous hyper dive nonsense, you're gonna win point eventually. You win a slow poke fight on defense just kind of inherently, right? Like look at this Corvus. Just bully this Corvus. Get out, Corvus. I don't know about ulting down here. That's really weird. If you look straight up when you ult, you will land right where you'll go up and then straight down. Definitely start thinking about how you're gonna live after this. I don't think dashing into mid is the play. Yeah. So some micro things. I think you took a lot of damage. We didn't need to. Playing up here is like fine, but you don't want to take your entire HP and damage. You could have maybe played right side. It's maybe a bit easier. More cover. That might have been it. Oh, get out. Your team is 2 people alive. If the con's good, he ults, yeah. Ooh, you're gonna stagger here. Or maybe. I mean, you just kind of win in when your team is dead. There's, you know, there's not too much to say there. Again, I'm a big Master Riding fan, but... Anyone else have Master Riding? Maeve does, that's something.
5, 4.
At this point, I would 100% expect the con to start matching you, and like then that like gets really awkward, and then like it starts getting really matchup dependent stuff. But I still think you guys are fine. I wouldn't worry about that, honestly. If your Andy gets absolutely dumpstered, that's kind of on your end, Joe. What do you want to be doing? Backline. Look at this. Look at this Corvus. Like, look at this man. Okay, I don't know what the con's doing. Corvus is by himself. Saudi's pushing. He's not with his Corvus. Healing is like cool, right? But you know what feels better than fighting this Eevee is taking the attention of their entire backline. Because if you are fighting the Eevee, these people can walk up and they can start shooting things. But if you are in their backline, you're distracting their support and you're distracting their DPS. So they don't have as much follow-up in the fight and they don't have as much heals in the fight. So as off-tank, generally, peeling really means distracting their backline. Generally. This isn't necessarily like a bad play. It's you got the right idea, right? Like you're not wrong to do this. But there's a better way to do it. There's another boop that I'm not sure what the reason's for. There's another shield where it's like, do you go big shield? Okay. Okay. I thought that was big shield for some reason. That's another shield though. It's like not really gonna do too much. It's just rolling away from you, right? It's like why are you using that shield? Why are you on point? Right? There's a backline over here. Look at your Andrew. Your Andrew's got the right idea. Your Andrew's trying to, I don't know what he's doing up there, but you know, he's trying to kill backline. Go backline. Why are you trying to get out? You're not trying to get out. You're trying to kill backline. Okay, I thought you got that for a second. Good attempt. But, good attempt, but wrong idea. But you guys are winning this. I think your DPS are doing really well.
That enemy is unstoppable. Somebody do
Backline.
something.
Go backline. Dude, even if like your comp doesn't necessarily like want, your win condition isn't necessarily to go backline. Just go backline anyways, dude. Just go backline anyways. Honestly, like it's really good in ranked. Very hard to deal with. Hey, let's talk about barrack builds for 2 seconds. This man is failsafe. He just dashed a point. Shooting him again. You see how it just gave him his dash back? Didn't end up mattering. When a barrack is going for point and he's already dashed, don't shoot him. Because because that might give him another dash, basically. So don't shoot him. We'll playing distance. Shield's kind of getting away from you. Oh my god, you actually hit that? Okay, dude, I don't think that's the play. Ash ulting an Eevee. Ash ulting an Eevee when Cart's free pushing too. Like, look at this. Do you guys need to be winning a fight? No. Like, what happens if no one does anything? Right? You guys are winning. If you guys kill them all, then you guys push Cart. If you guys do absolutely nothing, then you guys push Cart. So like, natural cover, right? You can literally like shoot, 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 take a lot less damage. When they push you, then you can shield, right? We don't really want to shield until you absolutely have to. Sort of a numbers game. There's 2 people on you. Oh, you have backup. Go back in. We would really like a shield right about now. This shield is cool. You're playing around it. If you look point, I swear. Okay, you get ulted, which is honestly tragic. You started that fight off with your Andrew dead, which that sucks. You shouldn't win that. But like, as soon as you see the barrack leave, it's like, oh, free backline. Can you tell how much I like killing backline? Like, it's just, it's so good. It's so good, I promise, man. There's gonna be a Ruckus game up on the channel at some point. You can probably still find it on Twitch, if you look for it. I played Ruckus on Ascension, got Master Riding free, and just like went backline. I died like 20 times, but like I don't know. It worked out. We cyberbullied the Furia. This is a cool shield. You're outnumbered. You leave. Come on. I wouldn't necessarily worry about dying to that so often. Part of it is that you're going very aggressive, like when you're not sure that people are with you. And that's why playing off tank kind of sucks in ranked sometimes, because it just gets so much easier when you have followed up. It just gets so much easier. It gets so much better when you actually have like an off lane and not just an off tank. You're going aggressive a lot. That there's like straight up went through your shield. Hey, they're off tank side. You know what that means? Backline. Oh wait, you need touch. Okay, never mind. Why are you going for boops there? God, Ash does like no damage. Great, now your Nara should be back, right? Yeah, there she is. Okay, cool. You want to leave? Yep. You can go mines and out of combat. Backline. Heal up to full, please. No, dude, you're just missing 2k HP for no reason. Okay, your Nara died. On for it. I mean, when you guys have to touch there, like that just sucks. You shouldn't win that, but that's not the end of the world.
Capture point spawns in 15 seconds.
You could also just change up what you're doing for the sake of changing up what you're doing. Like, it's not the worst idea, because by now I guarantee you their team knows, alright, the Ash is going lava side. You can change stuff up if you want. Like, just catch them off guard. Like, this isn't a bad play, right? But like, by now I'd expect them to adapt. I don't think you need that. You have your Andy with you. Assuming your Andy's not an absolute doofus, you should just kill it pretty easily. There you go. Alright, that's a shield immediately as soon as you see that. There's not really too much more. I mean, obviously, like if you have your ult, maybe you can make something happen. But
Alright, they getting hot.
oh my god, numbers game. You have 2 people alive. They have 4. Get out. You can dash out now though. Boop them away. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Why are you go? Okay. I know, messy fight. Wow, look at this. Big. Okay, hold up. Big numbers up here. However, small numbers down here. You don't need to be doing this right now. Even if you think you can get the kill, man, I don't think it's worth. Like, just wait for your team. Just wait for your team. Yeah. All right. So big things there is go backline and stay in the backline. I think your cooldown usage was like not great. Like you look like you had sort of an idea of what you were trying to do. I think that like you have like the right idea, right? It's just I think how you're trying to accomplish those right ideas that you have is like not necessarily it, right? So first of all, make sure that your idea is backline and is always backline, or it's preventing the other team from getting into your backline if you're the con in that game. But go backline. Don't boop people unless like booping them is actually better than just shooting them. I'd recommend trying out dash CDR. Like here, what's my Ash build? What's my Ash build? This is what I have. This is what I like. You could probably use something different. I don't know if there's a better. I think this is what like most people run. Run boop. Whatever. I don't know. I like shield, but like that's whatever. That's personal preference. I don't even know if this is a good build. I like Gatecrasher 5. That's up to you though. Don't mind the rest of the builds. They're all troll. So, yeah. Don't boop unless it's more value than just shooting them. Try using dash to like cross distances better. Use your shield to like hold space or to take space very aggressively. And try to backward shield more in situations where like you want to hold space. Maybe place it on corners more if you're trying to hold space. That's something I like to do a lot. For your ults, I feel like a lot of the time you're just trying to use them to survive. When you like position better, a lot of your ability use will just kind of get better based off your position. Like if you are in the backline more often and you will get more opportunities to ult, and like I think that like you will like get more better ults even if you don't like change how you ult at all. If you just position better, you will get more opportunities for better ults. You will see those ults and you will have better ults. So I think a lot of your ults was just trying to survive. That's not necessarily what you want. It's just like in backline. Like you're invincible in the other team's backline for 8 seconds. That's kind of busted. Like Ash ult used to not stun and go like pitiful distances. Like it's actually hilarious watching back old Ash ult. But God, OB64. But like it was still decent because invincible off tank in the other team's backline is that good. So yeah, backline. So yeah, tank VODs. I don't know if we'll do more of these, but yeah, just don't send me any for like Atlas or Rom or something. I could probably do Barrack, but Barrack, Koa, Nando. God, I could do Torv, I guess. Ash. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe some DPS VODs. I don't know. That'd be fun. That'd be really interesting. I probably wouldn't be able to help much. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.